do this. Live. We're telling your followers you start a live video. Don't do that. How do you invite somebody? Invite to join. Hey, there you are. Am I tilted or are you tilted?
You are.
Oh, I don't know how to work this thing. Okay, all the time I just did setting this beautiful camera angle and it didn't work. All right, let's try something else. It's good. Now my camera's going to keep falling. It took me like 30 minutes to set this up. I'm sure you understand what it's like to set up a shot.
A little bit, yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, come on. Can't even see me. Every time I go to move my hands, it falls. So give me just a minute. Hi there, Felice. I see you. How are you, honey? Thanks for joining. There you go, she says. All right. Well, this is like an old guy angle. It's like all too high, and there we are. All right. Hey, Matthew, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Or the other way around?
The other way around. Thanks for being on with me today.
Yeah. I guess we should tell people why we're doing this.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead? You're the director after all.
Okay, well, I'm director Matt Sly, and we're putting together a film called Coffee Breaks, written by Tracy Simpson. And I'm here with Jason Zlatkus,
Yeah,
who will be
Zlatkus.
playing the part of Michael in the movie.
Yeah.
And Coffee Breaks is about a woman, Kelly, who is trying to get her family together. She's got a crazy family. I'm horrible at explaining movies.
Yeah, so there's a lot to deal with, obviously, but it's a character-driven movie with again explaining the film without I don't want to give anything away. My character is one of the roommates in the house, and probably one of the lead characters, and it deals with Kelly, who decides to conventional area in life because of a lot of recent changes and things that have happened to her. Maybe that's a good way to explain it without giving anything away.
Perfect. Tracy's actually supposed to be viewing us. I don't see her yet, but Warren's here.
Warren's here. Okay, very good. Hi, Warren, and hi to Portia. Thanks for being here. The woman who found me is viewing, and when I say she found me, I was working retail, and she came up and asked me if I wanted to be a model, and I didn't think it was a real proposition, and then before I know it, I'm a runway model, and now I'm an actor. I'm an actor, but I don't know at what level. A very low known actor. How about that? So Warren is here, and he's the one who brought us together. So thanks for that. Glad to see him, and he's always keeping me in touch with what's going on.
Me and Warren. Oh, go ahead.
Well, actually, you were going to say something, and he just said hi to us. So,
Hey, Warren. Warren and I go back. Yeah, I mean, I moved to Florida when I was turning 12, and then I met Warren when I was about 17 or 18, and he was working at the mall as a janitor. And I had just gotten into making films, like immaturely, and he was into it, so we like rapped about it and did some fun things, some immature stuff on camcorder.
And
And then, yeah, I didn't take film seriously until 2019 when I got my DSLR, and I was like, let's do this a little more professionally.
yeah, and now you're shooting big pictures, big Hollywood movies.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good though. That's so we have a lot of, or there is a lot of Hollywood names attached to this movie already.
Yeah,
What we got going on.
who I got to connect with through different um, social media venues, and got to know, and then I was like, hey, I'm putting together this movie. Want to audition for it? And they're like, sure, yeah. And I think Warren introduced me to John Lear, the Geico caveman,
Right.
who will be in it as I think another stable character.
Yeah. Him and I have a scene together. Without giving anything away, we have a scene where we interact. So that's pretty good. And my dad is very excited about that. I told him, I said, the guy called Caveman, and my dad's like, I love that guy. And I said, well, I'm in a movie with him, and my dad was like, make sure do you get to talk to him? And I'm like, what? Well, Dad, I get to talk to him. I'm like the star of the film. We're going to
Yeah,
talk, and he goes. Oh my God, you make sure you tell him I'm a huge fan. So when I talk to John next, I have to make sure that John knows my dad is a huge fan of his role as the Geico caveman. So that's important. I spread that word. Yeah.
I
So
think we're gonna have a
yeah, go ahead. Tell about the
I,
rest.
th- I think we're gonna have a lot of bloopers with John and a few of us on board, and just having everybody in stitches.
Yeah,
And John's improv, so yeah, we're doomed.
yeah, and I can't imagine, especially again, I don't want to talk about the script too much, but the scenes that he is in call for a lot of physical interaction, so it should be pretty great. Yeah, I'll tell you, the script was one of my favorite things I've ever read. As far as being an actor, I've read a lot of scripts, obviously, and this one I was like in 2 days just done with it. Like I couldn't believe it. It reads so great. It's one of the best projects I've ever been attached to. Um, also it's also more fun because I'm in it like through the whole movie, which of course always makes it a more interesting read when your character's in it. But what a great story. And
Oh,
there's talk about furthering that story. I don't want to I don't want to give up too much, but it being where we're at in the stages of production and everything, I want to tread lightly on what we're talking about, but there is potential for the story to go further, which is another wonderful thing about it. And I think the story has everything. It has action, it has comedy, and like you said, there's some major comedic names attached, and
mm,
then it has emotion and just about everything. Uh,
I think
you know,
Mance, yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, romance. That's right. For the ladies who are following, there's a scene where I don't wear a shirt. So I know you ladies like the shirtless shots of me. So there you go. There's a scene where I don't have a shirt on. So I'll give that up. How about that? That's not spoiling too much. That's probably assumed if I'm in it. My shirt comes
Spoiler
off.
alert!
Yeah. If I'm in it, my shirt's bound to come off at some point. So so yeah, go on. There's more talk about because obviously it's not finished casting. There's still a lot to go. There's other people who are very excited about the script as we go forward. There's other already. Jesse Hyman is attached to the program. So tell us,
Yep.
you want to tell a little bit about him?
Well, again, Warren knows him and has been communicating with him through Facebook, and I think he told him about the part of uh, Kelly's autistic brother, and he was a little off put by it at first, because when he thought autism, he thought Rain Man or Leonardo DiCaprio's role in Gilbert Grape, we assured him that it's not that spectrum of the autism. He has a relationship with a woman, and he functions in society. So he's just a savant with certain things. So he's not Rain Man. So I guess that got him on board. Um, yeah, and we're still looking for, I guess, two staple characters, uh, Alicia and the plus size model Gabby,
Right.
which Tracy has told me she might amend the size of the model to accommodate somebody she's looking at for the part. So we'll see where that goes. Um,
Right. Hard to talk
uh,
about certain things about the film at the moment. Right. I understand.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
uh,
yeah. But
I met
as far,
Tracy.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Please.
I met Tracy on stage 32 and was talking to her about my first short film, Sola Sum, on YouTube, and she checked it out and then wanted me to direct coffee breaks. So I said, send me the script. And I checked it out and I was like, let's get rolling. So we've been working on it since uh, May last year. Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
putting it, they're finding producers. Um, she's in talk with a guy who's a producer that could po possibly get us that funding. So fingers crossed there. And if not, we're going to go crowdfunding. But everyone's going to get compensated and happy. So
Right. Yeah, that's one of the deals that comes with a big time film, is a lot of money. It's part of the deal with making a movie. I know there's talks for some large companies involved. Again, I don't want to say anything, but there's some fairly major production behind it. Going back to Jesse, when I read the script, it was such a his character is really profound and such a big deal, and I already knew he was cast as that role, and when I'm reading the script, some people have been cast before I even had ever seen the script, and in fact I was cast before I saw the script, but um, and
you're doing.
right. But I'm reading it knowing that Jesse's doing it, and I'm thinking to myself, only somebody like he could pull this off. He's an amazing talent, and thank goodness he has so much Hollywood experience already that when he brings to that, only he can pull this off. As far as I'm concerned, when I'm picturing him in the role, and when I'm picturing John Lear in the role, I'm saying to myself, these are the right people for the part, and on everything, and that's so far to me. And I'm reading the script, and it says there's a part where they even talk about the tall guy, and again, I was cast before I ever saw that, and I'm thinking, man, I'm perfectly cast for this, and so everyone I think is they're right for their parts, and as far as Jesse goes, I think he's just brilliant for it. And of course he was in Old School with Will Ferrell, and he was on the Mindy Kaling show. I mean, he's a major talent.
Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a lot of extra scene parts in movies that I've seen, and I think some talking parts. But yeah, this definitely I think would be a larger role for Jesse so far that I'm aware of.
Right. And maybe it is. It's a larger role for a lot of us. Certainly for me, it's definitely one of my biggest roles. If not the biggest, with what we're talking about. As far as the budget behind it, and Tracy as a writer is unreal talent. Yourself. I just got your film. Say the name of the film again. Some of
Solus sum,
one more time.
solus sum.
There you go.
Yeah, it means I'm in Latin.
Oh, okay. It's a Latin term. Okay. No wonder it went over my head. So,
Yeah, when I wrote Sola Sum, it was originally going to be a post-apocalyptic sci-fi, and as I was writing it, it just morphed into what it is now. Yeah, and I don't want to say what it is because the the surprise ending is what the movie's all about. But
right, right. So, but
so
it is on YouTube, and and people can watch it.
yeah, and it's the channel is Emerald Pyramid Pictures.
Right.
It's the first thing to pop up when you type in Sola Sum. So
So yeah, so to follow Pyramid Pictures, that's where we're going to put out a lot of coffee break stuff will be on there, I'm assuming. And
okay.
there's a lot of the Instagram for coffee breaks is up, and of course it's on Facebook. Or I don't know if it's on. I think it's on Instagram.
Yeah, Warren has put together a Facebook page. Yeah,
Yeah, again,
right,
Warren.
Warren.
Yeah, doing a lot of publication for us. Warren is definitely the man, the producer in a way. I don't know if he's credited as the producer, but in my mind, he's producing because he's doing all the production tasks. So, you know,
He would probably just say, "No, actor. I'm fine being an actor."
yes, that's right. Uh, So yeah, he is. We have another project we're in talks about, and it's very special to Warren. I know he's talked about it a
Alert.
lot. Yeah. So yeah, it's about it's about this guy who's from another planet and a human who doesn't necessarily think he belongs here, and Warren is very eager to portray that. I know he talks about that quite a bit. So and tell us maybe without too many spoilers. You've written it. You're thinking about. Obviously, you're directing it. Tell us about it.
Oh, I'm definitely going to direct it, but as far as writing it, I want to find someone who can embody the mind of the antagonist of the fan film. We'll say,
Sure.
you know. Yeah, because he's got a brilliant mind. He's a genius, and Warren wants to play that character in lieu of someone else who's played that character.
Right.
So we want to find someone who can write the dialogue that fits that character perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I tend to play the other guy more traditionally. I tend to play it more like somebody that's already done it, just because of probably the era I was raised in. But that doesn't mean it takes on that life when we go with that in the script. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But I thought you were directing that. Is that not?
Yeah, I'll be directing it,
Oh, you will, of course.
but
Okay.
I don't want to write it. No, I can't embody those characters as much as I love the protagonists. I
Right.
don't think I could do justice writing it now.
Yeah, they're very famous characters. We'll say that, and so writing them, especially for something like a fan film, we have to call it that, of course. And with writing it, we don't want to. We have to stay true to the material and do it, and besides, do it in the way that Warren has envisioned for this idea, which is again Warren bringing us together, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
He recently talked about building a studio. He told me about that, and perhaps somewhere in Colorado, he's talking about.
Yeah, he's talking about moving out here and building a studio for our kind of sister production, Hey Meester Productions, and um, that should be fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know he's lived in Florida for quite a while, so I'm telling him get ready for winters.
yeah.
They're
Oh,
not fun.
yeah, I I wasn't going to tell him all that, but he was he keeps attaching me to projects, and so I just have a feeling I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Colorado. He keeps telling me, "Oh, we got this horror movie coming, and we got this fan film coming," and I may be booked in Colorado for the next 5 or 7 years. Who knows?
Yeah. Warren and I are always brainstorming projects. I mean, we can give you the link to Hey Meester Productions, and just there's a page with just everything we've thought of doing as far as projects.
Is
And,
is that secret project we talked about? Is that on there?
um, I think I've added it so far.
It could
Yeah,
it could be on there. Somebody could. So we got to definitely make sure people get the link to it.
yeah.
Hey, Meester.
Hey Meester. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So back to coffee breaks. That's being filmed in Colorado as well. We're going to do that there. That's what we've decided, or that's what's been decided, I suppose.
Yeah, in Colorado Springs. Yeah.
And so far, the story takes place apparently in Austin, Texas. Is there plans to change that? Is there plans to make Colorado Austin? How do you feel that's going to work?
Uh, I'm sure Tracy would be better equipped to answer this, but
Of course, she wrote it, but I mean,
I
putting the
mean, we talked
creative.
about, should we film it in Texas, Tracy? Because that's where it takes place. And she's like, oh, I really want to do it in Colorado. So we're
That's
doing it in
Tracy's voice, right?
Colorado.
We really rather do it in Colorado. Yeah. Right.
She's got a sweet little sort of Minnie Mouse voice. It's kind of cute.
The first thing I said to Warren is, we could just as easily film it in Texas. Why are we doing it in Colorado? Are you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Could you
Yeah,
hear
I
me
was
before?
receiving a
You're not receiving it?
I was receiving a call and it muted us for some reason.
Oh, there you go. Nobody
Yeah.
calls me anymore. I'm so lucky. But anyway, what I was saying was the first thing I said to Warren is, why don't we just shoot it in Texas? We could just as easily do it there, but I figure you have all the gear, or the gear or whatever is in your area, so that's what I figured why we're doing it with you. I mean, in Colorado.
Right. I mean, I would more than happy pack up a little gear I have and then truck over to Texas,
Right.
because my crew's going to have the rest of the gear.
Right. Well, maybe Tracy's thinking moving it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess she likes Colorado's scenery better than Texas.
Well, I do too. I'd much rather shoot it in Colorado personally. I mean, last time I was in Texas, uh, you know what? It's the bugs. It's like there's bees that are they're like gigantic. So for me, I'd much rather be where the bugs are not. Just personally,
Yeah. And there's not a whole lot of bugs here. It's a good
Right. And
Colorado is.
I've actually never been to Colorado other than the airport. I've been to the airport. I've been to Denver. Most people have been to the Denver airport, but I've never been in the city per se. So that'll be fun.
I think it's bad in Denver though. Yeah, I'd probably have people show up at Colorado Springs Airport.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, growing
This
up,
is closer.
my dad worked for United Airlines, so we had a lot of connecting flights out of Denver or Chicago. I've been I've been to a lot of those major hubs of of airplanes. So yeah, so back to coffee breaks. Tell us what else is going on as far as that. What else can you let us know?
Right now, I'm trying to fix the volume.
So while we're fixing the volume, I'll send some shouts to some people I see that are here. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you. These are my friends. I don't ever I use the word fans a lot, but really I don't like that term. I don't feel like they're not necessarily fans. They're you know what I mean? They're people that like what I do, and that's cool. And the people who support me, they're my friends. I really appreciate that. So you guys who are watching, thank you. Right now we're live with Matthew, who is the director of Coffee Breaks. which is a movie we are in production of. It's going to be filming in Colorado, and it's about a girl named Kelly who has some problems with her family and some problems with her living situation, and things develop, and she makes a lot of changes in her life, and they're sort of centered around these meeting times she has with different people who some of them drink coffee and she doesn't typically drink coffee. So the movie kind of happens around these moments in time of drinking coffee and being around other people for that little bit, and where the connections really happen. And it's sort of a bonding over that. We're losing Matt here. He's trying to fix the volume in his camera. I'm doing my best host impression. So
Test 1, 2.
there it is. We can hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah, we kind of can hear you. Matthew's still having technical difficulties.
It seems like it.
We're seeing
Can you hear me?
a good. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We use the headphones.
There you go. Yeah, I had to switch to my headphones after a while on these things because my iPhone just doesn't cut. Like, for some reason, it cuts out 30 seconds of audio whenever I talk. So, which is probably ideal. I don't think most people want more than 30 seconds of audio from me. So that's probably fair. I think if everybody thought, take 30 seconds off of Jason each time he talks, it's a fair deal. So maybe my phone is just listening to what people say. Who knows?
It's technology.
It is technology. All right. You're losing us there. Oh, you're still setting up. For being a director, you got the camera skills. Yeah.
Yeah. They're killer. Yeah.
It's amazing how you can use these big cameras and these amazing things, and then not be able to use these little devices. I can't do half the apps on, my kids do. But, when it comes to the microphones on set or the cameras on set, all of that is like, that stuff. Yeah. But I got cast for a role I ultimately didn't end up playing, but where the guy didn't know how to use the phone. His idea was that he was having some technical problems. It was like during a pandemic, during the pandemic, and he couldn't use the phone. And the truth was every time we went to rehearse on the Zoom call, I couldn't get it to work. I mean, even when we started this call, I had it sideways. So, I mean, You feel me? It's like, so that part of the role wasn't terribly a stretch for me.
I was like, hey.
I was like, oh, he's doing that head tilt. My phone must be messed up. So yeah, the truth is I actually don't really know how to kind of work some of this, some of the technology. And the kids keep telling me, apparently, okay, so I went viral on TikTok the other day. It was about a week ago. My kids, Dad, you're on TikTok. You're on TikTok. Oh, I am. I did this. I was very lucky, and I got cast with these wonderful group of kids who make these PSA videos, and they're called Illumably, and I was in this Black Lives Matter one, and it got a lot of traction, and I went viral. I shouldn't say I went viral. I think they made it go viral, but it did, and I didn't have a clue because I don't use TikTok, and I see a bunch of actors using TikTok, and I think, man, maybe I'm just old school, but I can't get down on that. Like, I see adults dancing on there, and I see guys I know. I'm working with this model, and this guy is rocked out. I mean, this guy's a fitness model. I mean, he's a great looking guy, and he's telling me how he spends 4 hours to make a TikTok video. I'm like, oh, dude, that can't be worth it. I'm a grown man. I can't be over there doing the TikTok. But at the same time, when someone tells you, yo, you got 1 million likes on that, and you didn't even know, there is something tempting. For me, that was tempting. I thought about, oh, okay, maybe I should start dancing on TV. Maybe I should start dancing on I should start dancing if that's what the fans want. I got to give it to them, So, yeah. I mean, but yeah. So as far as the point back is the technology, I'm not feeling it. Everybody's like, you can edit your own reel, right? On your phone, you can edit it, and I'm like, oh no, I can't. Maybe you can, but I can't do that. Like, edit my own reel? Like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's got to be fairly easy if, the Generation Z can do it. And then
but they're technologically savvy and they live on their phones. But I
Right.
mean, it's got to be point and click. But I haven't checked it out because I'm not a big TikTok fan yet.
Right.
I'm still a YouTuber, so
And see, Warren is like us, so he's got the tech going. But I'll bet TikTok, Warren, that's a challenge. You got to get us on TikTok then, okay? We'll see if you can do it because you're the one who does that stuff. So but I'll tell you what. Every time I go somewhere and they have a Galaga game. You know, Galaga, the one with the little bugs that come down. You got to shoot them.
mm,
I go to those places and they like to Golfland or wherever has vintage video games and still I'll set the high score, even though there's a bunch of kids there. So there's still some technology we can beat them at. And it might be old
yeah.
school, but I'll tell you what, hook up the Atari and I'll roast those kids.
Oh yeah.
Hook up the Nintendo and they're like, oh my gosh, you can go on the top of that level. Like I'll roast those kids.
Yeah.
So but then again, he plays this virtual reality stuff and by him, I mean, Warren said TikTok scares him. I knew it. You're our age. I knew you. I see. And so even our PR guy can't do the TikTok there. So, but he's playing this VR game and he keeps saying, Dad, put the headset on, put the headset on. And as far as that goes, man, you know what? I'm like not trying to get motion sickness in my own living room. I can do that just fine on a plane or a boat, like other things, But when it comes to that virtual reality and all that, it's out of my league. Maybe I'm just too old.
Yeah. This is how me and Warren brainstorm. As you just mentioned, we're talking about TikTok being scary. What do you think about a TikTok horror movie, Warren?
That's exactly it, right? And then Warren, the next thing out of Warren's mouth is let's cast Jason, and that way I'm attached to another project. I'm sure that's coming. But I love you, brother. You're my favorite, Warren. Thank you. And I see another guy who casts me a lot watching the show. Nash, good to see you. Thank you. He casts me in a lot of things. He's got me in 5 other projects coming. I was supposed to go to Atlanta a couple weeks from now, but that didn't work out. Travel sometimes is more than what happened was I don't know, for those who don't know, for a little while there we enjoyed traveling for very low money, and because we could do that and we could drive. I could drive in California and it didn't take me that long to get to set. You could cast me anywhere, I'll go. But it's back now to the point where the roads are flooded, the plane tickets are high again, and the things keep coming up. So what happened with Atlanta is for us, as far as Nash and working for a lot of people who cast me a lot, is my point. I'm very grateful for that. Is that the prices just like doubled, and there was nothing we could do about it. And there's only so much budget, as we talked about earlier. When it comes to making a movie, money is tight. No matter what the scale of the picture is, whether it's an indie film and people are volunteering their time, or it's everything is tight. It has to be done now, and because of the cost. So this is a pretty ambitious script. We're talking a lot of. I'm looking at the script and I'm reading it, and I'm thinking it's weeks, perhaps months to shoot it. I mean, what's your take as the director? Any idea what you figure a timeline for something like a feature length?
Well, being my first feature length project, and it's like 80, it'd be 80 something minutes long. So I've read that it takes 2 weeks to like a month to shoot like a feature length film of that length. So with a good DP in my hand and good crew and phenomenal actors, we can knock it out in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, we have all of that. I mean, at least I think, phenomenal actors. I don't know where we stand on the crew side. That's not something that's out of my hands. All I have to do is cry on set a lot. I don't have to worry about the hard work.
Yeah.
doing that. So, yeah, I figured too. It's about a minute. It ends up being about a minute per page for people who don't know.
Yep.
It ends up being about a minute per page on a script. However, I notice shooting it takes about an hour a page. To make a minute of television takes about an hour, is my experience.
Yeah, because you want to get different angles, different shots.
Correct. Yeah.
Sometimes you get your bloopers. Someone gets the lines wrong. Yeah.
Oh man, it could be anything. And if you have an outdoor shoot, I promise you, there's somebody blowing leaves. Like that's an inevitability. That if you're doing anything outdoors, and I've been on Hollywood productions outside and across the park, there's a guy blowing leaves. Like we shot on prison grounds once, and they had a leaf blower on the prison. Like I'm sure just to come out and watch us film, but they don't understand that it's the noise.
That's when you're glad you have a good editor in your pocket to take out those sounds. And
yeah, but it's tough though. There's always sounds in an outdoor shoot. There's geese. There was a guy building a metal fence once, and it was going that they were taking turns like hammering it like an ding ding ding.
Mm-hmm.
There was a band one time we went to, there was just a band outside. Oh yeah, the airplane. Oh, there's always a plane. Yeah,
Yeah.
Some areas you shoot, you're right in the flight path, and there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to take it. So you just have to shoot around it. And the boom mic tends to pick up everything. So again, it's sort of right. It's how
very sensitive.
Very sensitive. Right. So, So of course, Warren did say there could be a TikTok horror movie, with me in it. And I think it's really just about joining TikTok. It's probably about where somebody my age gets their credit card information stolen. That's probably how the horror movie goes, right?
There you go.
I should have never gone to that convenience store in Los Angeles. Why did I do that? That kind of stuff. So
there we go. We got a storyline, Warren.
there it is. So what else? Tell us what else. What other projects do you have coming up that our audience might want to know about?
Well, we've also been kind of working on a horror comedy slasher film. How we had hatched that out was Jay and Silent Bob came out with their reboot, and I said to Warren, what if Jay and Silent Bob met like a slasher, and then Short Order Buzzkill was born. And it's about these stoners, a group of like 4 stoners who give this waitress a bunch of crap, and she sets out to kill them, but ends up killing prominent members of a society, a small town society, like the mayor and the lead plumber, and the stoners get away unscathed, and there's a detective trying to figure out the case who we had originally written with Jason Mewes in mind, because he always wanted a lead role and to play a detective, and he's been kind of hard to get a hold of, so we're recasting that role, and it should be real fun. It's supposed to take place in California, and that was written by scientist and scriptwriter Tom Stolgren, who lives right here in Colorado Springs. Or no, he moved out further west, I think. I think he's there in California. Warren would know.
Yeah, Warren mentioned
he
Short Order Buzzkill. He mentioned that to me. I think it was last night about the horror comedy, and he said that it was a female serial killer, and which is pretty cool. The idea of that, a waitress like I think that's a great idea. I like the story.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he said something about putting me in that too, probably, but who knows? I'd much rather be a prominent member of society who gets murdered than a detective, probably. I like that part.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think we got John.
Oh, go ahead. He said
Nevada. Yeah.
He said Nevada. You saw that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we actually got John Lear playing the priest. Yeah. Is it like a Catholic priest? He's the first to die in the starting of the film.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So, so he's attached to multiple projects too. I can see where Warren is going with this. If you get signed on to one of Warren's projects, you're like good with him, you know.
Yeah.
That's the thing though, is he gets good talent. So right. So what are you going to do? Again, for those who just joined us, John Lair is in the movie with me. I'm in the movie with him. Coffee Breaks, and he was the. I'm the mayor. There you go. Hey, funny you mentioned that. Anyway, thank you, Warren. You're the best. But John Lair was the Geico caveman on the commercials. He's well known for that. The commercials are, it's so easy, even John Lair could do it, and he did it. John, it's so easy a caveman could do it, but John Lair also does it. And he's that guy. So, but he's in the movie Coffee Breaks that Matthew is directing, and. We're very lucky to have him. Warren's like, did you know who's going to be in the movie with you? And actually, I didn't know at the time. I knew John Lair had done a lot of projects. But I honestly, at the time when I got cast, did not know he was the Geico caveman. So that was pretty exciting to find that out.
We also have Cassandra Seidenfeld as Kelly.
That's right.
Yep. Who else? I know we were trying to get what's his name, Scott. He's Hogan's Hero's son.
That's right.
Warren knows him.
Warren mentioned him to me. Yeah, I can't remember, but Warren mentioned that. And there's some people potentially from a former television show being asked to be on as well. I don't know if you can say the name of the show if you want to, that they were on, but they are playing some, they've been given the scripts, hopefully they'll accept the job, but they are playing some pretty, good characters in the movie too, as well. So again, a lot of, John was in Jesse with Christina Applegate. That's right. He was, John Lair was, but there's a lot of Hollywood names again attached to the movie and more coming on, which is great. Yeah. As we progress. So the movie is still like in development. We're talking about potentially, months from now, a year from now, a while from now.
Hopefully just a year from now, if that. Tracy really wants to wait till COVID has subsided because no one wants to film under the restrictions.
Right.
Especially when there's like intimate scenes.
Which there are a good number of actually.
Yeah.
Most of which involve me. I noticed. In fact, all but one. I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
I'm in a lot of those.
I think there's one with where Jesse's doing something with his girlfriend.
There's that, and then there's also Alicia's boyfriend or whatever. Again, not want to give it up. So there's a lot of intimacy in this movie. So you're right. COVID is definitely consideration, and which it has been. Now it's obviously something that we're coming up against. A lot in the industry is that the waiting for COVID and which it's funny. I got my second vaccination today, so I'm expecting. I took a few days off just in precaution. You never know what happens with the second vaccine. I've heard all kinds of random things going on. So,
I heard some horror stories about people getting the vaccine, the nausea, vomiting, upset stomach, diarrhea. Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I heard, and of course I heard, people, getting COVID. That's also
Yeah.
that. The way I understand it is that's worse. I mean, that's my understanding. So,
Yeah.
I
Isn't this supposed to prevent COVID?
yeah, see again, who really knows? I felt like for me it was the right decision to make. If other people don't feel it's the right decision for them, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? For me that was the decision to make, and in my job as an actor, I haven't slowed down. Um, I actually slowed down this month because of this project, and how heavily involved I am with this project, and I've actually like taken a bunch off my plate because I have major films coming up that I wanted to focus on. But prior to that, I've been working nonstop. I worked all through the pandemic, and so for me, it just makes sense to play it safer on the vaccination side when I'm going into situations where not every actor is as conscientious as I am, and
Yeah.
the actors, we don't wear our masks. We typically can't. We're make-upped or we're already next to each other in a scene. We sort of have to be unmasked. The rest of the crew, everybody else is, but as far as actors go, we're like the unprotected people on the set. It's so for me, playing it safer with the vaccine was the way to go.
Yeah.
And like I said, if your or someone else's beliefs are different than that, then that's all great, and that's good for more power to whoever believes what.
Yeah.
As long as you watch my movie Coffee Breaks, directed by Matthew, and you're alive to see our film, that's what we want.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're just wanting to be on the safe side. So when COVID dissipates or disappears altogether, we'll be good to go. I had heard that when they were filming The Batman during COVID, someone had actually caught COVID, one of the crew members. So we don't need that.
No.
So we'll just wait. Yeah.
No, and like
hopefully
you said,
not long. Yeah.
Right. Hopefully not long. And like you said, there's so many intimate scenes, and and we'll have as many people on our sets, or well, not now probably, but we're talking about a large enough set like the Batman. I mean, obviously that's one of the biggest sets in the world, the Batman stuff, but we're going to have a good number of people on a set. You just end up doing that because of all the jobs needed for a movie. And so, like you said, to play it safe, if one person, the amount of money it takes to get everybody, for those people who don't know, the amount of money it takes to fly people there, to pay the actors, to pay the crew members, to then spend, we're talking like we were talking about before, if it's an hour a page, I'm on almost every page of the script. And that's an 80-hour shoot. And that takes, even, let's say we do 12-hour days, right? Which you're still talking about, over a week of shooting, or even 2 weeks of shooting. And if one person gets COVID, all of that money wasted. You can't.
Yep.
And so that can't be risked, and that's the thing. I mean, and then it's hard to quarantine with, if we were to get all tested and everything, it's really hard to do it that way. There's always some element. Like you said, it's just better to not risk the money. There's too much involved. And that's what it is with Hollywood, And I made a lot of stuff during COVID, but it just depends. Again, the larger, who can test on site, who can't, who can quarantine, who can't. There's so many factors. And, somebody like Warner Brothers is going to have the money to be able to test on set. And, even just below that, you're not going to be able to have the money to test on set. And then if you can't do that, it makes our lives more difficult. The risk factors are too high, right?
Yeah. Warren, do you remember the guy Tracy's trying to get a hold of that going to possibly back it? He's like a producer in television and film. Yeah. Well, we get this guy on board. Tracy's talking about possibly Coffee Breaks becoming a series.
Right. And that's I was sort of alluding to that. I didn't want to
Yeah,
I didn't want to give that up too much, but yeah, I hopefully it does. Um, Hopefully I'll get to be
which would be
on
fun.
that.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah, I mean I'm the main guy, so hopefully
yeah.
yeah.
We don't want to Back to the Future you, and
No,
how they replaced Jennifer. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. That's what exactly. And I got to tell you, when you sell a television show, okay, let's be honest, I'm a little bit afraid. I have a little bit of fear of that decisions get made. But you know what? They're gonna love me. They're gonna see the film. They're gonna love it. They're gonna go. That's the guy. This is the new guy. We want him. That's the way. That's what Warren tells me, and I got to go with what he
Yeah.
says.
Apple TV. That's the guy we're looking for.
Apple TV is
Apple TV.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to say that either, but if you guys are giving it up, then it's okay. I don't know where, as
Yeah.
an actor, hey, you guys are production and director. You guys can say a lot more than I'm allowed to. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Warren is willing it. Jason is Michael as Michael on the Coffee Breaks, the TV series. Right. Well, and I think my fans would love to see me on a TV show. And again, I don't use the
Definitely.
word, my friends, the people who support me. The word fans it's sort of, I don't want to demean anybody. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they mean a lot to me. If it's not for them, I can't do what I do. So I don't know. They're not necessarily fans. Sometimes there's sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah, where they,
I love the new term Generation Z has put out there. Stan.
what is that?
It's what is it? Like stupid fan. I think that's what
Oh,
it means.
a stand.
Maybe someone on here can translate it, but it's like a really obsessed fan of a celebrity.
Oh, yeah. Those are the people I refer to as fans. I get some obsessive, and you know what? I like it. I really do. I like all the attention. I like the pictures and the artwork and the gifts and when people ask me why do I do this, I don't do it for the money. I do it for the love. I do it for the perks. The people that I love doing it, and the people that tell me they love me doing it. That's why I do it. And I do it for the I don't know, accolades. I do it for the cheers. I that's what I like. And don't get me wrong, I got to eat, so I have to do it for money, which, you know what I mean? I guess I'm glad I can get paid to do what I love doing. And I'm glad that there's people who appreciate it. And I'm glad that there's directors who want to cast me and stuff. And there's people like Warren who insist that I'm in their projects. And, I'm grateful for that. And those are the things. That's why I do it. I mean, realistically, it's such it feels good, and I work hard.
Yeah.
I try to because I want to deliver for those people that believe in me. I really do. So yeah, that's just like probably like you're the same way. I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I do it because I love filmmaking, and I want to put things out there for people to enjoy watching, and come up with ideas for movies that I've always wanted to see, and you've always wanted to see, or someone's always wanted to see, but Hollywood won't touch or make,
Right.
for whatever reason. Warren and I talked about a Captain Caveman fan film because I haven't seen it on the board yet, so
Dude,
I think it'd be fun.
So Warren, I
Yeah.
think Warren has a Captain Caveman lunchbox, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he does.
Oh, he probably does.
Yeah. Yeah, Captain Caveman was one of my favorites. In fact, I thought about getting a Captain Caveman tattoo at some point. I just never did, but I've considered it. Man, yeah, Warren and I have a lot in common. He had a video game store. I had a video game store. He collects lunchboxes and cereal. I collect cereal. A lot of that stuff. Warren and I, and we didn't even really, I don't even know how much we had in common. We're obviously both huge fans of that character we alluded to earlier.
Well, that makes three of us because you know, I hashed out the idea to him, and yeah, I'm a huge fan. I've got a tribute video to a certain actor who played this character
Right.
recently passed
Yes.
some years ago. But yeah,
I have a
but,
tribute to that. Actually, I was just going through that. That tribute is in my garage. It's in my garage currently, but I have it in a. I have a lot of the magazines that chronicled the whole everything from the character to the death. I have all of it. You know, because I'm a fan of the man, not just.
yeah.
Above my bed is a portrait from Somewhere in Time. You know, which now could give up that dude, but you know,
Great movie.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of the guy, you know. So that's yeah. So right. So definitely, I mean, that's going to be probably the best thing. And I actually decided I'm going to shave because obviously this doesn't work unless because you know what, I don't typically shave. Like I don't for characters, I just don't. But that one I will. And unless you want to shoot a scene where it's like an older version, like
because you know the premise of the story, right?
I don't know. I think I know 100%. I'm sure Warren told me, but I don't necessarily know.
Okay. He's kind of like given up, and he's just slumming it in his getaway home.
Mm.
And so we could say he's let himself go. I mean, he obviously can't get fat, but
Right.
he could grow some stubby here going, you know.
Okay.
But I have a feeling people are going to figure this out.
Yeah, he can't get drunk either. He has to, unless he's exposed to something. Yeah. He can't.
So he's just like slumming it around.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he'll be in his iconic suit or he you know, if he's like slumming around in, you know, like a the business shirt in slacks or something, you know, I don't.
Right.
And then the antagonist shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a little older, you know, because some years have passed.
Right.
And it's a certain time era, so yeah.
And that gives them renewed purpose because they need each other.
Yeah. Well, the antagonist gives him a talking to, and to kind of get him back into the game.
Yeah. Which then I'm sure the suit will come in later.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
When he's back into the game.
Because we have figured out how we want to end that video on a cool note. You know?
Right. So I just noticed we're almost out of time. It says we got 2 minutes left. Do you want to give some final words? You want to wrap up on about coffee breaks and what we're doing? How it's.
This is why I'm a director and never on camera.
So coffee breaks coming soon. Matthew's directing, written by Tracy Simpson. We got John Lair involved. We got major Hollywood talent. We got Jesse Hyman. We got more people coming on. Warren Madden. It put this together. He's in the movie. It's going to happen. We're excited. And one more time, give us a synopsis, Kelly. Go ahead, tell us, Warren, one more time. I'm sorry,
Kelly,
Matthew, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. Yeah, you better explain it than that.
So, all right. So Kelly, the movie is about Kelly and the people she lives with. I am one of the people in the house she lives with. I play Michael, and it's about her coming to terms with different things that are happening in her life, surrounded around times where people get together for coffee or tea or another beverage. The beverages play heavily throughout the film as different stages of people's lives. And that's about it. So coming soon. 30 seconds. Thank you, Matthew.
To a theater and somewhere near you.
To a theater. And that's right. And somewhere near you. Right. And Hollywood style. Matthew, thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure.
And thank you, Jason.
We'll talk soon.
We can't wait to see you on set.
You know it. Right on. Warren, thanks again, buddy.
Bye, Warren.